Kirwan's Game Store, the best place in gaming.
Alright, after a short delay, we are finally set up for the first round of the Kirwan's Game Store Super Tournament for Primal Origin on June 21st, 2014. There's a slight delay on the stream, so the players have already started playing, but they'll be showing up here in just a few seconds. We have James Glass versus Mike G. Mike G is playing Sylvans, and James Glass is playing what appears to be unknown right now. I've heard that it is a reversal quiz, but that's yet to be seen. Alright, so the first play is Mike G. Rhodas for Rose Archer, sets a monster, and then he will set a monster, set a back row. Alright, so sorry, I had to set some things up. Alright, so play passes back to Mike G. Plays Sylvan Charity, probably the best card in the entire deck, the entire engine. He draws 3. He's revealing the Hermitry right now to show that he has one to put on top of the deck, so he doesn't have to put everything back. He puts Hermitry on top, puts Veiler as the second one, and he proceeds to flip Kumoshrimo, which will allow him to excavate the top 5. He hits Hermitry that he stacked, hits Sage Koya, puts back the Veiler, and he puts back the Miracle Fertilizer. I don't see how he stacked that. Alright, he proceeds to activate Soul Charge. He is paying 3, allowing him to summon Lone Fire Blossom, Sage Koya, and Hermitry. So he goes down to 5,000. He then proceeds to activate his Lone Fire Blossom, tributing it off. What I assume will be another Lone Fire Blossom. So I'm going to tribute off his Kumoshrimo with that. I believe that here he would like to get another Hermitry. That's usually what you do. Just thinking about it. I have a Decklist here now. Okay, so it would appear that James Glass is actually playing Girya. Alright, yeah, so he's gonna get another Hermitry, like I was assuming. Hermitry being the heart and soul monster-wise engine of the deck. Resolving those is a great way to accrue free advantage. Plays a Miracle Fertilizer. Lone Fire, tribute off the dead Lone Fire. Summon out Sprout. Would appear that he is making that level 3. And he's going to tribute that. No, he's not going to. Oh yeah, he popped it off with its own effect. Gets a Curry Bandit to his hand. I'm just going to put their names up during the switch between games 1 and 2, because this match is moving pretty quickly. It's going to overlay the Sprout. Oh, for an Alucard. Very strong here. I don't know if he knows he's playing against Geargia, but... Oh, he didn't hit the monster. He'll instead hit a Blackhorn. That's interesting. Is there Trapstone played this turn? Don't think there was. Yeah, no. Huh. I feel like Blackhorning the Alucard there probably would have been a strong play, considering if he had hit what I assume is an armor, that could be a blowout. That goes on top. Mushroom was going to pop a 7 Tools of the Bandit. Yeah, like very standard Geargia. Always prepared for the mirror match. Mystical Space Typhoon, not very good right now in the Geargia mirror match. Not very good in general in Geargia at this point. You don't really need MSTs, so that's why they've all switched to using wiretaps and 7 Tools. Overlay for rank 8 here. Probably Felgrand, right? Oh, he goes for Alcé. In defense position, though. I feel like since he's bouncing up, it would appear that James is scooping. I'm getting word that he says he did not open very well. I mean, it's pretty apparent. Alright, let's put these names up while they delve into their side decks. I'll go over that in 1 second. James Glass, Geargia. I don't know if he's running any crazy variant, but I assume not, since he has the space for the 7 Tools and the wiretaps, that he's only running the pure variant. Then Mike G is running Sylvans. It's going to take a while before I can actually get these life totals and stuff going as quickly as I'd want them to, because I've never actually used the stream before, but hopefully I can get that moving quicker. Both players back to 8,000. Mike's up a game. Alright, so going into the second game, we have, first we'll take a look at James' deck, considering he did lose the first game, so this is going to be pretty important for him. He's got 2 Noblemen of Crossout, which aren't useful here, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. Mystical Space Typhoon's okay, you can destroy the field with it. The field is pretty important, especially on their first turn. Once it's resolved once, it kind of... They usually accrue so much advantage and put up such an established field that it can be kind of tough. But it's good against Miracle Fertilizer, it's good for hitting the field on the first turn. He's got DNA Surgery. That's alright. I mean, it can stop the effect of Lone Fire Blossom, but I don't know if he really wants to see that. Needle Sealing's really good here, especially when he's going first. I think he would probably side that in Xyz Universe. Not going to do anything here. All of the monsters are way too high rank. Divisions, the Decrees, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. If he goes first, he's definitely, like, game 3, if he wins this game, I assume he'll be siding those in. And yeah, so both of these players going for a similar route in their side decks. They run a small concentration of different cards in high numbers. And, I mean, I don't think there's really much that James can side into this matchup that will give him a huge edge. Sylvans are pretty tough. He doesn't have access to Max C, which could be a problem. I can see that coming back to be an issue for him, but the stream is buffering. So I can't really tell what's going on the viewer side right now.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing when it catches up, I'll catch up.
Alright, we're back on the stream. James went first. He sets a monster, which I hope is armor, considering his start in game 1 was not that great. Then he passes to Mike, and Mike goes off. I didn't see any of this happening because there was an advertisement running and then I had the buffering issue, but now Mike is going off. He's got both of his Hermitries out. This is the position you want to be in with Sylvans. Starting off the turn 1 with 2 Hermitries is very, very strong. Don't know if he's soul charged. Yeah, he's soul charged for those, it would appear. So he's down 2,000 life points. Not terribly concerned with that, I imagine. He summons a Felgrand off of his Sprout plus Hermitry at level 8. That gets Blackhorn of Heaven, and he responds by Nobleman of Cross-outing the Geargi armor, which is not terribly good for James Glass. Now he's thinking about his play. He's got 3 cards in hand. Oh, he passed to James. Okay, so James summons an Ice Hand. He swings at the Hermitry, blows up the field. Look at the search off now. Gets Ice Hand and Fire Hand, swings. That will put him down to 5,600. Yeah, he's getting the life point totals correct. I mean, in this situation, Blake's not in a terrible spot. He's facing just an Ice Hand. He has no spell or trap cards. He's going to summon Martial Leaf. Martial Leaf whiffs completely on its mill, and he'll just swing at the Ice Hand. James will go down. Yeah, he'll lose 100. Oh, and Mike lost the, Mike's at 46 because he took the 14 from the Ice Hand. So that puts Mike to 55. Summons Arsenal. Swings over. Well, swings over, summons the armor off the Arsenal. That puts Mike down to 56. Plays Soul Charge. How many does he target here? Oh, but he lost the 200 from the battle with the Arsenal, so it puts him down to 54. Let's see where this Soul Charge goes. So far he's got 2 out. Does he go all in? Oh, he goes all in. Summons 4. I'm getting word that he's at 400, but I think that should put him at 1400 unless they missed damage somewhere. What is this? I guess we'll put him at 400 if that's what the players confirm the life total's at. Not a situation to be in. Then again, so I'm going to push through James' board here by brute force, which is, you know, it's akin to dragons. That's what this deck does. It's akin to Lightsworn and dragons, and the fact that the most powerful plays are the ones that are the most brutal. Tributes off the Lone Fire, gets Sage Koya. I don't know if he has... I have no idea what level the Sprout is. Saw the players pointing at it. He's just going to tribute. Puts it back on the top of the deck, hits Valor. Nothing occurs there. Alright, Sage Koya effect. Sprout summons itself. I think he's making 7. He pointed the Sage Koya. That's going to hit space. The second Sage, but... Yep, 7 overlays, front for Draco. Great monster to summon. If you're behind or ahead, Big Eye's not going to do anything here. He gets 2 tokens. This will help him wall and gain advantage for free. He's going to pop the back row with Draco. It's another MST. Overlay the 2 Hermitries now for Felgrand. The overlays for Felgrand. He can't conduct his battle phase. Maybe I might have meant him to make Heliopolis there, but I don't know if he had a monster in hand. Activates the effective armor, flips it face down, manually flips it face up. Searches through his deck. He's going to grab an accelerator. The glare there makes that you can't really see that, but that's what that is. Adds accelerator to hand. Shuffles his hand a bit. He's got a Geargiano, MK2, a D prison. There's his accelerator. Fans his graveyard out. He's got 2 ice hands in there and a fire hand, along with 2 MSTs. Checks his extra deck. Drops a token. Checking Mike's graveyard now. He's possibly looking for a card like Dark Hole. You know, if he were to come back from this, he needs to know what he has to fear Mike coming back with. It's a long decision he's making here. Checks his hand. He's looking at the MK2 here on top of his hand. I assume whatever play he's going to do involves mostly the accelerator plus the MK2, so the MK2 gets him Arsenal back. You attribute that for a 3, Xyz, and then special summon the accelerator from his hand, and then he can make a rank 3 and a rank 4. Don't know where that's going to get him though. Let's see what he's got here. He's got 3 Geargians, 1 Exciton, 1 101, 1 Emerald, 1 Direwolf, 1 Black Ship, 1 Dweller, 1 Rhapsody Berserk, 1 Ragna Zero, Tempo, Wind Up Zen Mines, Alucard, and Soul of the Silver Mountain. He needs to deal 400 damage to Mike here. I think he's thinking about Exciting Knight. Is the play that he is... I mean, it's the only play that he can use to do anything, I guess, but I feel like he could have made a rank 3. He could have summoned MK2, used Arsenal. Arsenal tributes itself off to get normal Geargiano, special summon the accelerator, make Tempo. Tempo forces out the activation of the Felgrand, but instead, yeah, he's just going to go right for the Exciting Knight. He hasn't normal summoned yet. Felgrand's just going to negate that. Now he summons MK2. MK2 is going to grab him back armor. He's going to set armor. This is not a good position for James to be in, considering armor does nothing against Draco. Exciting does nothing against Felgrand. So Mike takes his turn. Draws. He is at, I believe, 4 cards in hand. Yeah, 4 cards in hand. Looks at his graveyard. I assume he'll produce tokens eventually. Yeah, see, there he goes. He produces the tokens. There's no point not to. This is what Draco is best at doing, just putting you ahead on the board. It creates advantage on its own. He can now use the Draco to pop anything that he wants. He won't do it to Exciting Knight. Exciting Knight's doing nothing here. He could possibly use it on armor, could possibly use it on the back row if he's afraid of those. Then again, the back row isn't that scary either with Felgrand. He's going to pop the back row. Let's see. It is a Gear, which James responds with, summoning from his deck, I assume, Geargiano, yep, and MK2. Probably in defense position. Save his life total. I mean, he is up in life by a lot, but that 400 damage that he needs to do is looking pretty substantial here. Surprised he doesn't run Heartland Draco. A lot of decks do. If he had it in his deck... Oh, it wouldn't have done anything against Felgrand, I guess. Actually, he could have, because he could have summoned Tempo and Heartland Draco, and he actually could have taken this game rather easily on the last turn, but now we find ourselves in this predicament because he does not have that or Gaga Cowboy in his deck. Let's see. He's reading Felgrand. Mike's still thinking about his play. He's in complete control of this game from one aspect, as far as the field goes, but his life points are still an issue, which he has to think about. He just swings at armor. Oh no, he's swinging. Okay, that was at the Giriano. Okay, that makes sense. Swings at the armor. Might not have the armor at the Giriano. Pops out the armor with the Draco and ends his turn passing back to James. James now has a level 4 and a level 3 on the field because the MK2 off Gear is level 4, and of course MK2 normally is level 3, so he's not going to be doing anything with those right now. Let's see where he takes this. Not a good position to be in if you're James Glass. Only needs to do 400 damage, but in the face of Felgrand plus Draco, that can be very tough. Excite Knight will activate its effect, and Mike is going to chain the effect of Felgrand to protect itself, and Draco protects itself through its own tokens. It's a pretty nice play. This means that James has to blow up his own monsters, which I assume he did not want to do there. Summon Zen Mind's defense position. This is something a lot of people have been using recently. Zen Mind's definitely declined, was seeing absolutely no play. Was that? I believe James might have a needle sealing set? If I'm not mistaken, that's what it looked like. That could be really good for him here. That could actually be... If this is a needle sealing, this could be the game. He's waiting. He's gonna wait until Mike normal summons before he activates this. If it is a needle sealing, that way all he has to do is attack with Zen Minds and it's game. So we'll see. There are 22 minutes left in the round, I've been told by the judge upstairs. Game 1 was rather quick, so both these players have quite a bit of time to work with here. Mike thinking very long on the Sylvan Charity. Looks at his side deck, I believe. I guess he's just checking to see if he sided something out. Reveals the Kumo Shrumo and a Marshall Leaf. Those will go on top of the deck. Activates his Miracle Fertilizer, and James targeting the Hermitry, which is getting summoned here, and James chains Needle Sealing. Exactly. Alright, so there's a Needle Sealing. It's going to destroy, but he hasn't normal summoned yet, and he's going to summon Sage Koya from his hand through its own effect. Sage Koya is going to mill the Kumo Shrumo. The other Sage Koya that was summoned is going to blow up and is going to mill the Marshall Leaf, which is going to go after the Zen Mines. He's going to swing, kill Zen Mines, and then he's going to attack directly for 2,600, putting James down to 29. Yes. Overlays them both for Draco, makes 2 tokens, ends his turn, passes to James. This is a classic, you know, position to be in with decks that run multiple Dracos. It's kind of like playing against dragons. Once you get an advantage, you make a Draco, your opponent's so far behind, the Draco's just going to keep putting him ahead. I assume at this point he's not so concerned with his life total anymore. He knows that he's in a really good position. He's got Draco, 2 tokens, Miracle Fertilizer, to James having 1 set back row, which he then just blows up with the Draco anyway. Summons Hermitry off of the Miracle Fertilizer. Like I said, one of the main cards in the deck. Attacks directly with the Hermitry, putting James down to 100 life points. James draws a card, sets it, passes back to Mike. Can't see what that is. Is that a torrential? As a torrential, he just attacks directly with the Draco for game. And Mike G, 2-0's James Glass, Sylvans versus Geargia, a matchup that I assume we're going to see quite a bit of today. Both decks very popular. Everyone's scooping up their cards.